Excited to have our monthly pet webinar as we know how many people love their animals and we always want to take care of them. Sometimes a little bit more than we like to take care of ourselves. So tonight I'm going to talk about frequency technology called Lifewave. My name is Tina Colter. I've been with Lifewave for a little over 4.5 years now. My background I'm an animal body worker. I specialize in spinal alignment and acupressure massage for horses and dogs, among other animals. If they have four legs, I probably have worked on them. I've been doing that for over 20 years. And to add this technology, and promote this company for the last 4.5 years, I'm very grateful. And, to be honest, there's a lot of modalities out there. So, um, I'm here 4.5 years later because this technology works. It's cutting edge. I know we can hear those buzzwords sometimes, but I'll tell you, this is a technology that's been around for 20 years. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. And it came through because my horse really injured herself so severely that we weren't sure she was going to make it. And I do have before and after photos, which are the next slide up. So I just want to pre-warn people, they are graphic. So if you're kind of don't like those type of photos, please turn away. AcuLife technology is what got me to look at this company, because honestly, I was a little skeptical, but I was looking at something because I truly believe whether we are animals or humans, given the right tools, our body's ability to rebuild and repair is phenomenal. So, as I was moving forward with my horse, Faith, um, I wanted to give her the best possible support and outcome with her injury. So, what had happened was she got her foot caught in a wire fence and she pulled back so hard, and I don't even know for how long because no one was there, um, until that wire broke. And when that wire broke, I'm very grateful that it did because you'll see very quickly that if it didn't, I don't think she would have stopped struggling. And I don't know if she would have actually remained to have a foot on her. That is how bad it was. And we actually found her lying down in the field. So she was in a state of shock and, very quickly called the vet out. We got her stabilized, and just know that I didn't know anything about LifeWave at this time. So when we stabilized her and I was told, well, we'll see, you'll never ride her again. Um, I I was putting her on proper nutrition. I was feeding her body from the inside out. I was doing daily body work because when we have the body aligned, it can function and communicate to itself as optimal as we could. And I was looking for something. I just didn't know it was this. So when my friend brought this to me, I was like, thanks, but I don't know. And she goes, Tina, they did a clinical study on horses. And I said, okay, well, I can't make up what I'm looking for. I don't get to choose that. It's showing up. But when it arrived and it looked like this, we're going to go into the depth of why it can look this small and be so impactful. I thought, you have got to be kidding me. And I followed the instructions. I followed the directions that I had the support with this community, and that's what we do. We help people understand how to use this technology, but how to put them on your animals and how to move forward with them. Because what my friend didn't know was for 30 days, I could not get the swelling down in my horse's leg. And what happens when that happens is that if there's too much swelling or too much inflammation within the body, our body's natural occurring repair cells can't get in to do anything. They hit the wall of inflammation, they get killed off. So I was in this vicious cycle of where I couldn't get my horse moving forward in repair, even though I was trying and doing everything that I knew. And when I placed AcuLife on my horse within a day and a half, all that swelling was gone. And that's what got me to pay attention. Now, what happened as that went was then we started moving forward with the repair. Um, and I just will share the good news before I even share the before and afters is with an injury like that, there was soft tissue. It went down into the joint capsule. It was partially through tendons, ligaments. And we know that soft tissue, tendons, ligaments, all of that takes a long time to heal. So I was looking at maybe She'd stay limping around in the field for a year, 2 years it would take, and then maybe I could see if I could lightly ride her. 8 months later, she was 100% sound and back to rehab, back to riding. That does not occur. And I will say that, oh, I got excited in that day and a half. I said, as I was noticing my clients' horses, I was like, I'm going to put these on my clients' horses. I'm going to do my own clinical study. Um, and when I was putting AcuLife on reactive sore areas on the horses, I was lowering and or eliminating the reactive sore response in under a minute. The beautiful thing is, and that's why I love doing these webinars, you can't placebo animals. They're not going to pretend if it works or not, or their mind's not going to get in the way. So over and over and over again, I was seeing that I was able to do a deeper bodywork session in one session that used to take me 3 sessions to get through that soreness and build that, say, it'll get better, I promise. I don't have to do that anymore. And I thought this is something that I can empower people to take care of their own animals before I get there or in between. So it was quite a value added. So I saw this. So I started sharing it forward with my clients. I just didn't know that in 8 months I was going to have an outstanding story of my own horse who is behind me here, who is absolutely sound, where it's unheard of to see the minimal scar tissue and all of that. So all of that is what happened with my horse, among, paying it forward and seeing it. Many other horses were bringing horses ligament issues down from 12 months recovery down to 3 months. Like this is just something, this is a technology. Lifewave's been around 20 years. The studies, and I'll show you those studies with AcuLife. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to move to the next slide, which is my horse's injury. So you're going to see the before, you're going to see the after within that. So if you're queasy, you don't like those kind of pictures, please look away and I'll tell you when I've gone to the next slide, okay? So I'm going now. So the before and after, as you saw, and remember I was saying that if my horse hadn't broken that wire, I don't think I would have her today. And so if you look at this area here and move over to this side here, usually you're seeing white scarring hair and not even any hair growth. Hair is growing back. We're waking the body up to repair at a level that you don't usually get to see with light frequency. This is it. We're using our body light as the repair mechanism. We're with reflecting it back into the body in specific wavelengths. So back here, as you can see, it's growing back. It looks better. I can always get better pictures. I was given the go ahead to ride again. Did I right away? Probably not. I wanted to really get her into, but I will tell you, I've gone to clinics with her. I've ridden her. We've gone up the mountain, down the mountain. I've watched her run through the pasture and I have not seen that misstep in this foot. And with horses, you usually get excess scar tissue growth, and we're not getting that. You're getting the curvature, she's getting the range of motion, all of that is there. So that is what happened for me. Super grateful. And I pay it forward to give people the information and education for them to use this with their animals. So life, I've switched over to the other slide now, just to let you know for anybody who had to close their eyes. Lifewave Aculife is a 2-patch system. It's a tan patch and a white patch. You'll see that on top of the horse here. Sorry, guys. You can wear it while you're riding. You can wear it while they're in the field. This is a technology, nothing's going in the body. It's non-transdermal, and it lowers inflammation and helps a horse feel comfortable. And when that happens, guess what happens? Biomechanically, their range of motion improves. And so your sports performance improves. We were taking, as this is a health product here, and we're helping horses like over to the left, jumping, any discipline is an athletic discipline that we ask our animals to do for us, even if it's taking us up the mountain. So to be able to offer them comfort and support them in the repair of their body. Remember when I said if there's too much inflammation in the body, there's soreness, we can't repair, nor can animals. So this really allows the body to be optimal, to do what it wants to do, which is to fix itself. So as I said, you can wear them while riding, well, or not. Now, these were the two studies. There's over 15 clinical studies with pain and inflammation conducted by Lifewave, two of them on horses in 2005 and 2011. The company has been around since 2004. It's over 20 years old. So you can't make it up for this long and be the fastest growing company in the world 2 years in a row. And I want to share that. And the reason I share that is it gives the credibility to what's going on here. There's over 175 horses in one study, and they even had a placebo-controlled group. Guess how many horses were affected in that placebo group? Zero. They just can't. So that's my favorite thing doing demos on horses because you can't pretend. People really see in real life and then they go, well, does this work on people? And of course, we have a whole product line. Tonight we're talking about AcuLife. We're going to open this up for Q&A after. It was originally called IceWave. You'll see it referenced in the clinical studies, and they renamed it AcuLife when introduced to the horses and marketing for horses. So when you hear about IceWave and AcuLife, IceWave is for people, AcuLife is for horses. It is the same patch technology, just marketed differently. It's not bigger for horses. This is working on acupressure points within the body. So we're opening up meridians, allowing that flow of energy, and we'll talk about that as well. So when we talk about pain and soreness within the body of animals, people, you name it, physical and emotional, our body can't differentiate. Our cells don't know. When somebody talks about grief where it's like it physically hurts, they're not lying. Our body doesn't know the difference between physical and emotional. And so our animals like us can't distinguish between the two. So both feel similar within the body. Okay. And really, pain is just a blockage in the bioelectrical conductivity within the cells of the body. So it's like there's just a block. And then that sends a signal to the brain that says something's going on here. And the signal that gets sent back from the brain says, pay attention. And it's usually a signal where we hurt. So that's why this technology, these patches, um, you know, this is why it works so quickly. When we open up that flow within those meridian points, that's how quickly we can release that discomfort. And nothing's going in the body. It's photobiomodulation. So what causes pain in the body? Injury, illness, repetitive movement, stress, the diet, um, it can be a combination of things. But the what we get to focus on is that when we open that flow, whatever the cause of it is, we get that communication back into the body. And that's why we see it work so quickly. So it stimulates the body with light specific frequencies. So when we place this technology on our animals, I have my little horse here, and we place that on, it actually is reflecting the animal's own infrared light back into their body. So we're like the battery pack for this technology. And that's how we increase the flow through our cells by stimulating on acupressure points. Now, I love the nervous system. I work with the spine. It's one of my favorite things. Um, and the nervous system works very quickly, but acupressure points are even 200 times faster than our nervous system. And that's why this technology can be this small, but so impactful. And if you ever have the chance to listen to the owner and founder, David Schmidt, he talks about, and I like how he explains it because he's always great at explaining how this works and making it understandable, is that if we think of acupressure points, and acupuncture has been around for thousands of years, light therapy has been around for hundreds of years as well. I mean, we go out into the sun and we're getting light therapy, is that acupressure is like the fiber optics of the body. That is why it's so small and can work so quickly. I have some injuries and some before and after photos here. Spartacus, a friend of mine, as you can see down in the bottom right, he's got a beautiful coat, and look at the feathers of his feet. He's a huge Frisian. And he got his hay net caught around his hoof and lost all circulation to the point where we thought he would lose his foot. And we thought, there's no way he'll have white scarring. His feathering won't grow back as properly. And after Kelly applied Lifewave technology, his hair grew back black and thicker than the other legs that were not injured. So that's how much this technology wakes up our potential and optimizes our repair potential. So Spartacus is doing well. He never lost, he's got all of his sense and feeling in that leg, and he's absolutely sound. Now we have Hope here with her coffin bone injury as a yearling. She actually had this area here, if you don't know what a coffin bone is, right in here, she had to get 25% of it removed because it was damaged. And she was also, again, we're getting um, always told that they'll never be fully sound and then just absolutely blown away. We've got vets joining us. We have other bodyworks joining us because we can't deny the repair that's happening when we use this technology on animals. These x-rays are 4 weeks apart. Hope is absolutely ready to be trained to be ridden. She was just a baby when all of this happened. She's not taking a misstep. And the vets are absolutely surprised at how clean the repair is going on within these x-rays and how quickly the bone density is improving and growing back in that area where they had to remove some of that coffin bone. Now we have coats, sometimes I always say bring the patience because um, be patient. I guess it sounds like bring the patience, not the patience as in being the patient. But when you're looking at coat improvement, the skin is our largest organ within our body, no matter what species we are. So if the coat is looking better, imagine what's going on the other organs within the body. So when we have an older horse over here, Blondie, I actually don't know the name of this horse. So I just named him Blondie very quickly. Uh, you can tell it's an older horse because when they get older, they start to grow a coat that's curly, that doesn't want to shed out in the summer. Usually when it becomes that, there's medication to go on to slow down the process. Never reverse it, but slow down the process of this. Well, when we started using Lifewave technology, the coat shed out to better than it had in a long time because usually when you start getting a coat like that, you don't get the shedding out in the spring like that. And that's what I keep getting as well, going, I still am working on this. Sometimes it takes a little bit for that repair of an injury. So remember, 8 months, I look back at that, that's a glimpse, but at the time, 8 months felt like a long time. But just know consistent use is where you're going to see some big magic happen. So if I work with people who are like, well, they still seem a bit sore and this and that, but I've never seen their hair grow out. I've never seen their hooves grow so well and their coat is shinier than I've ever seen. And I said, be patient. There's deep stuff going on. Because if there wasn't, you wouldn't be getting these beautiful changes in coats. Like Harley just turned 31 last month and she was starting to shed out not so well. We started using Lifewave technology and you can see she's shedding out. But what her owner also noticed is she's running around like she used to when she was younger. So that's an indication that her energy level's up, right? A horse isn't going to come up to us and say, oh, I'm just feeling, so much better. My energy's higher. We get to watch their body movement where she starts running in the field where she was meandering in the field before. And my guy, Cowboy, he actually cut his face. And if you know about anything that's to lower swelling, if we have to put it internally, we also have to make sure that we're not hurting their stomach. That's just the reality of it, anything like that. And if you met Cowboy, which he is mine, it's a fight to try and get anything squirted in his mouth. So I didn't have to do that. I used Lifewave technology. You can see right here, he was super swollen. His eye was swollen. His injury was up here. I put some topical stuff on it. And very quickly, I was able to lower that swelling without having to put anything in his body. What is that worth to me? It's worth quite a bit. Because when I had to stabilize Faith and we had to put things in internally, I also had to give her something to keep her stomach safe. And if you want to talk about cost of that, that is not a cheap thing to do as well. So when I was able to transition over to lowering that swelling and inflammation within the body to using a light frequency, nothing going in the body, that was a great peace of mind, and it also helped my horses as well. Now, where do you put them? Some people are like, I don't know where to put them. I don't want to do it wrong. Please trust yourself. You can't do this wrong. I'm going to show you a few little photos. But here are the locations that they used within the clinical study. Play around. If there's a different sore spot, mirror it. You put the tan on the left side of the horse's body and the white on the right. So if they're sore, for example, in an area that's not on here and you know, like say it's behind the elbow here, then you put the tan on the left side and the white on the right side of the body. And indications of what we see is we see a horse drop their head. We see them sort of blink a little bit more. You see them look a little bit more sleepy or relaxed. They'll lick and chew. They'll yawn. So know that 90, I think it was 98% in the clinical studies saw marked improvement, and a few days later, the rest of them caught up. So know that this is such a high percentage of improvement in lowering and making animals feel more comfortable. So take a look at the clinical studies. You can sort of see those statistics as well. Those are the spots they use to get those. So to make it easy, you go, I think they're sore in a general area. I'm going to put them in this area. I think my horse's shoulders are just a little stiff and sore. There's a couple spots there. You could try here, or you could try here above in the wither area. Or I feel like right behind the saddle is a little bit sore, or further back. So try those areas. Your horse will let you know. Trust yourself. You know your pet better than anyone else. And we also have AcuLifeNow.com. There's a brochure attached there. But if you'd like, feel free, take a picture of this to have this on hand for you. But just be open to experimenting. That's where I've learned so many things, is experimenting with many different placements, going, oh my goodness, that seems to be a really nice spot for horses. And we'll talk about a few other of the things when we open it up for Q&A as well. Now, there's so many pet success stories, and we want to hear from you. We have affordable light therapy for you. We're not going to put disease names or anything. We're going to put symptoms. So if you have like hair not shedding out, or a tired horse, or limping horse, or sore horse, or animals that are a little nervous about different things, you're going to find some pretty cool testimonials. Please go there, and we do need to hear your stories, because we choose to use this technology on our pets outside of AcuLife as well. So your experiences help support others with their special family members. I also realized I do not have my thermal imaging picture in here, which is ridiculous because that's what I wanted to show you. And that shows within 10 minutes a marked difference between the heat in the whole body. Even if you put the patches on the top of the horse here, in 10 minutes, you're going to actually see the heat and the temperature lower throughout the whole body system. So it doesn't have to be exactly where that heat is as well. So thank you so much. I so appreciate your time here. And what we will do now is we will open up for Q&A.